Imagine this. You're in the middle of a power outage that lasts for days. No, it's not the apocalypse, but it's a situation where prepping could come in handy. Many people labor under the misconception that prepping is solely for doomsday scenarios, the kind involving zombies or alien invasions. However, the truth is far more mundane and universally applicable. Prepping is about practicality and preparedness for everyday emergencies. Take our power outage example. Suddenly you're plunged into darkness, the food in your fridge is at risk of spoiling, and your heating or cooling system is out of commission. It's not the end of the world, but it's inconvenient and potentially dangerous, especially if the outage lasts for days. This is where prepping shines. Having a stock of canned goods, bottled water, and alternative power sources like a generator or solar panels could make the difference between getting by comfortably and struggling through a dark, cold week. Prepping isn't just about surviving a catastrophic event, it's about being ready to handle life's little hiccups with grace and ease. It's about providing yourself and your family with a sense of security, knowing that you're prepared to face whatever comes your way, be it a natural disaster, a financial crisis, or a simple power outage. So let's dispel this myth right now. Prepping isn't just for the end of the world, it's for any situation where you need to be self-reliant. Now picture this, it's not a Hollywood movie with a fully stocked underground bunker, but your pantry filled with essential supplies. Have you ever thought about the amount of resources you could lose if you misplace a single can of beans in a mountain of stockpiled goods? Imagine the chaos of sifting through mountains of supplies in a time of crisis, unable to find that one essential item you need. Having a massive stockpile might give you a sense of security, but it can also lead to disorganization and inefficiency. Instead, consider this, a well-organized, manageable stockpile. Picture shelves neatly lined with canned goods, medical supplies, and tools, each with their designated space. Imagine knowing exactly where your water purification tablets are, or where you've stored your extra batteries. In a crisis, time is of the essence, and the last thing you want to do is waste it searching through a disorganized pile of supplies. Rather than focusing on quantity, focus on quality. Think about the essentials: food, water, medicine, and shelter. Make sure you have a variety of each to accommodate for different situations. And remember, rotation is key. Use your stockpiled goods in your everyday life and replace them regularly. This ensures you'll always have a fresh supply when you need it. Remember, prepping is not about hoarding, it's about being ready for whatever comes your way. Ever heard the stereotype of the paranoid prepper? It's time to debunk that. There's a common misperception that preppers are overly cautious, constantly looking over their shoulders, expecting the worst at every corner. However, this couldn't be farther from the truth. Being a prepper is not about being paranoid, it's about being prepared. Let's consider a hypothetical scenario. Imagine you're driving on a secluded road late at night and your car breaks down. Now, if you've packed a basic emergency kit in your trunk, you can handle the situation calmly and efficiently. You're not constantly worrying about your car breaking down, but you're ready to handle it if it does. That's not paranoia, it's smart planning. Or consider a real-life example. Every year people face natural disasters like hurricanes, wildfires, and floods. Those who've prepared by having an evacuation plan, emergency supplies, and important documents ready to go aren't paranoid. They're simply taking a rational and responsible approach to their safety and security. Prepping is about expecting the unexpected and being ready to handle it. It's about taking control of your life and not leaving things to chance. It's about being able to sleep peacefully at night, knowing you've done your best to secure your future and the future of your loved ones. Being a prepper doesn't mean you're paranoid, it means you're proactive. A bug-out bag by the door and a detailed escape plan. Sounds perfect, right? Not quite. It's a common misconception that a solid bug-out plan is all you need for any crisis. While it's an integral part of your survival strategy, relying solely on it can be risky. Picture this, a severe snowstorm hits your town. The roads are impassable and you're stuck at home. Your bug-out plan is rendered useless in this scenario. What do? This is where a bug-in strategy comes into play. A bug-in strategy is your plan for staying put and surviving in your own home during a crisis. This could involve having a stockpile of food and water, alternative sources of heat and light, and a first aid kit. In our snowstorm scenario, a well-equipped bug-in plan would mean you're prepared to hunker down and weather the storm from the safety of your own home. Balancing between a bug-out and a bug-in strategy is key. Different situations call for different responses. Sometimes it's safer to stay put, other times evacuation is the best option. The goal is to have a comprehensive strategy that covers both scenarios. Remember, successful prepping is about adaptability and flexibility. Your strategies should reflect that. A comprehensive preparedness plan involves both bugging in and bugging out. Think prepping is all about expensive gear? Think again. We often picture preppers as individuals decked out in top-of-the-line tactical gear, with state-of-the-art survival tools at their disposal. The reality, however, is quite different. While these items can be beneficial, they're not always necessary. In fact, effective prepping often leans toward resourcefulness and ingenuity over high-cost equipment. Take a simple fire starter, for example. Sure, there are fancy gadgets out there that can spark a fire in seconds, but did you know you can just as easily start a fire with a bit of tinder and a pair of glasses to focus the sun's rays? Or consider water purification. While there are advanced filtration systems, boiling water or using inexpensive purification tablets can be just as effective. The primary aim of prepping is to ensure survival, and that doesn't always require the most expensive gear. It's about making the most of what you have, improvising when needed, and knowing how to use your resources wisely. It's about understanding your environment, assessing potential risks, and preparing accordingly. The focus should be on acquiring skills and knowledge, not just gear. After all, the best survival tool is a well-trained mind. Learn how to fish instead of buying cans of fish. Learn how to purify water instead of buying bottled water. Learn how to build a shelter instead of buying a high-end tent. Effective prepping isn't about the price tag, it's about the value of preparedness. Ever felt that prepping is a lonely endeavor? It doesn't have to be. We've all seen the stereotype of the lone prepper holed up in a bunker, isolated from the world. But is that the reality? Not necessarily. While individual preparedness is indeed important, the myth that prepping is a solo activity couldn't be further from the truth. Let's consider a hypothetical scenario. Imagine a neighborhood hit by a severe storm. Houses are damaged, power lines are down, and help might not arrive for days. Now imagine if every household in that neighborhood had been prepping independently. They may survive, but they'll face the aftermath alone. Alternatively, imagine if those same neighbors had been prepping together, sharing skills, resources, and plans. When the storm hits, they're not just a group of isolated households, they're a community. They can pool their resources, help repair each other's homes, share food and water supplies, and provide emotional support in a stressful situation. This community approach to prepping can significantly increase resilience in the face of adversity. Real-life stories also reflect this. Many preppers have found strength in numbers, forming networks and communities both online and offline. They share knowledge, exchange ideas, and offer mutual support, proving that prepping can indeed be a social activity. So next time you're planning your prepping strategy, remember you're not alone. Reach out, connect, and collaborate. Prepping can be a community effort, bringing people together in times of crisis. Wilderness survival skills are important, but they're not the only skills you need. Picture this. You're in the heart of a bustling city when a blackout strikes. It's not a wilderness situation, but it's a survival situation nonetheless. Knowing how to navigate in the dark, how to communicate without technology, or even how to source food when grocery stores are closed, these are urban survival skills that come into play. Or consider a suburban scenario. A major storm has caused flooding in your neighborhood. You're cut off from the main roads and the power is out. This isn't a dense forest or a deserted island, but you're in a survival situation all the same. Knowing how to create a makeshift raft, understanding the signs of rising water, or even having the ability to perform basic first aid, these are suburban survival skills that are essential. The truth is, survival skills are not exclusive to the wilderness. They are applicable and necessary in all walks of life, from the heart of the concrete jungle to the most serene suburbs. It's about being prepared for any situation, anywhere, anytime, whether it's learning how to purify water in a city apartment, how to signal for help in a crowded area, or how to find shelter in an urban setting. These skills are just as valuable and life-saving as knowing how to build a fire in the wild. Survival skills are not just for the wilderness, they're for life. Believe that prepping will make you completely self-sufficient? It's time for a reality check. The notion of becoming entirely self-reliant is a common myth in the prepping world. While it's true that prepping equips you with skills and resources to handle emergencies independently, it's a misconception to think that you can go it alone indefinitely. Picture this. You've prepped extensively, you have your supplies, and your survival skills are top-notch. But what happens when you encounter a situation that exceeds your capabilities? What if you fall ill or get injured? That's where mutual aid and collaboration come into play. It's about having a network of fellow preppers who can step in when the going gets tough. It's about pooling resources, knowledge, and skills to ensure collective survival. Think of it as a safety net, a community where everyone has each other's back. This approach not only enhances your chances of survival, but also fosters a sense of camaraderie and shared responsibility. Moreover, collaboration isn't just about crisis situations, it can also be beneficial in ordinary times. Sharing knowledge and resources can help you refine your prepping strategies, gain new skills, and make your prepping journey more enjoyable. So, while prepping does promote self-reliance, it's not about isolating yourself from others. It's about building a community that's prepared to face whatever comes their way. Prepping is about balance between self-reliance and community support. So, there you have it. 8 common prepping myths, debunked. We've challenged the notion that prepping is solely for doomsday scenarios, and proven that it's a practical approach for everyday emergencies. We've demonstrated that a massive stockpile isn't a must, and that being a prepper doesn't equate to paranoia. We've stressed the importance of having a comprehensive bug-in strategy, not just a bug-out plan. We've shown that effective prepping doesn't require expensive gear, and that it's not a solo activity. We've highlighted that survival skills aren't just for wilderness situations, and we've tackled the myth of total self-sufficiency. Sharing this knowledge is crucial. So if you know someone who might be holding on to these prepping myths, do them a favor and share this video. Remember, the truth about prepping is that it's a journey, not a destination. Stay safe, stay prepared, and keep debunking those myths.